Welcome to the second episode of our Defense Mastery series. Today we're going to be talking about Oregon, with the first objective being upstairs. Now, the two most common entry points where people will attack from is going to be big window and attic. And secondly, they, not all the time, but they will push from main upstairs with. I'm Brian.
I'm Kyle.
I'm offered.
Alright, guys, let's talk about the reinforcements first this time, where we think the 10 should go, and then we'll talk about where the 5 people are playing. So, to start off, we'll do 1 and 2 on the bedroom wall right here, in the bedroom closet. We'll do 3 and 4 along this wall. We'll do 5 and 6 in the bedroom. And then we'll come into the attic and do 7 and 8. And then, going into the kids' room, we got 9 and 10. Those are the 10 main reinforcements for this point, as well as you could make a rotate on this wall right here, and a rotate leading to the big window, but we'll talk about that more when we talk about where people are sitting. So who should we talk about first, playing wise? We'll talk about the two ACOGs that we suggest, because big window was where Ryan said most people will push from. So what we like to do, because a lot of people push from big window, is we'll do two different ACOG angles. So we typically like to have a rook and dock, one open up the rook and impact the wall here. We'll have one of them lay behind the bomb site here, and they could see through the metal grate, I guess you would call it, and see at people pushing in big window here and shoot at them. As well as the other ACOG is able to get up on this desk, and the way he does it is he breaks out all the things on top of the desk, and he shoots the top of this little coat hanger. And if you find the right spot, you're able to jump up onto the desk, and you're able to see towards big window. And if you're able to fall over the lower drawer, you can stand up and you can see big window from up here as well. So those are two strong ACOG angles in order to hold the big window, which is one of the most commonly attacked way, and the first two operators we would suggest. So operator number 3 we would suggest would probably be a bandit, to be able to stop the big two walls that enemies will try to breach. Would be one, the attic wall, because then they have control over attic and are able to push into attic, which is very strong, as well as the wall leading into the bedroom closet, because that's also a very strong wall in order for them to be able to get down a plant. So having a bandit get out those walls, and the bandit will typically play in attic to stall out attic even longer, to not give him control for that. For the fourth person, we typically go with the mute, so he could deny intel from people getting drones, so they can't see where the ACOGs are positioned, as well as having that shotgun and SMG-11 to defend the front lobby as well as bedroom. So they would typically play in the bedroom, watching out onto the balcony, and also defending the lobby, as well as if they push an armory, you would help out there. So you'd be watching the front side. And then the last and fifth person, we kind of switch it up, but most of the time we end up going with a castle, just to be able to block off lines in sight that people typically push. We will usually castle off the window here, so the rook on top of the bookcase doesn't get shot at. We'll castle off the window in kids' room, so the dock behind the bomb doesn't get shot at. And then we'll castle off the side stairs right here, so they cannot come up and shoot out the dock behind the bomb as well. And typically, if the person's playing castle, this person's more free to move around and play downstairs to stall out the staircase from other angles. The last thing I would say is, if they end up pushing up the side stairs here and castle ends up dying, feel free to make a rotate hole or make an impact on this wall right here to give you some vision from either up when you're up on the bookcase as rook, or you can hold it down here. As well as if the attic person dies, the rook might want to come down and watch attic from here, because he's a little exposed if they push in the attic door. But most of the time with this, it makes it very hard for a team to come in and plant from the two common ways they like to push, and it stalls them out very well. So we're going to move on to, you're going to see some example clips of how we set up and where we place everything now. We'll be playing the 5 operators we just said: rook, dock, mute, castle, and bandit. You'll see where we place all of our gadgets and everything. As for substitutes, I don't think there's many substitutes we would put for any of these roles because we kind of designed it around. I guess the mute and castle could be the two people that could change around, but otherwise, besides that, I would keep it all the same.
What is your profession?
Alright, so take a look at the clips now, and then we'll head on to the next objective. Alright, so first up we have Rook. Rook is going to reinforce walls 1 and 2 in the picture. He's going to place his Rook armor down. He's going to make 2 impact rotation holes, one in the kids wall to watch towards big window, and one in the games wall towards the side staircase. Then he's going to hop up on the dresser. The second person we have is Doc. Doc's going to reinforce wall 3 and 4. He's going to place barbed wire by big window for if anyone jumps in, and he'll place barbed wire on top of white staircase as well. And he's going to sit behind the bomb and look through the rotate towards big window. Next up we got his mute. Mute will reinforce walls 5 and 6. He's going to place his mute jammers all around the point. Some example mute jammer placements are shown in the picture. And mute will be playing towards the bedroom, watching the lobby staircase and the bedroom balcony. Next up we got Bandit. Bandit is going to be reinforcing walls 7 and 8 in the attic. He'll bandit those 2 walls, and he'll bandit the walls that Mute just reinforced, 5 and 6. And then he'll be playing in attic to watch the attic window and if they breach attic wall. Lastly, we have Castle. Castle will reinforce walls 9 and 10. That's located in the bedroom. Then he's going to castle off games window, kids window, and the side staircase. And Castle will be playing downstairs underneath the stairs to defend it from below, and he also would have the option to rotate up to the lobby staircase or attic depending on where the attackers are pushing from.
Now moving on to the second objective, we're going to be going to the basement. The most commonly places that people like to push is through dirt and big tower stairs.
Alright, so let's talk about the reinforcements we would suggest. We'll start with the operators this time, actually. So the first person we suggest is Mira, because we focus our whole strategy around her and our reinforcements and everything around her. We like to do a mirror window facing dirt right here, so you're able to have coverage on people pushing dirt. As well as we like to put a mirror window in the front, so whoever's watching the front is able to have a nice advantage at peeking the front. And we will typically do a rotation hole on the point here to help the person in the front get around the objective. There's really not a substitute for Mira in this situation because we kind of base our whole strategy around her. As for the other people, we will typically go with the bandit because for our second one, because we want to stop them from pushing the walls, we'll typically bandit the wall right here and going into dirt to stop them from thermiting that open because that's a heavy wall that people like to open. As well as if they have a Habana, they'll try getting at the mirror, so typically we'll bandit the mirror window. Both the mirror windows will try to bandit. So Habana can't get it out or they can't destroy the mirror windows. If you see they end up pushing fridge hard, you can remove those two bandits and put them over on the fridge wall. That might help you out. But if there's a real replacement for him, I guess you could get away with a Cade or a Mute, but I would really suggest Bandit just because it's very easy to place his bandits around, and you have your C4 as well, and you'll have the MP7 to watch the front with, and we would suggest that the bandit's watching the front on the mirror window. Then for person number 3, we were doing would be Wamai, and Wamai would help the mirror watch dirt. This is an example shield placement here. That would give Wamai a great advantage of being able to stop and hold people at dirt. You would be able to use this gadget to throw it up in here in dirt so people can't get frags and people can't destroy his shield. So he could sit here behind here and shoot out as much as he can. And then for the fourth person, we'll typically do a Jaeger, also for the same reason, to stop the smokes and the frags. And the Jaeger will typically play behind the pillar to be able to watch back staircase. But if they have to move around, if they're pushing heavy in the fridge or the front, this Jaeger can rotate around. But with him sitting on this pillar, it can make it very difficult for enemies to push down the back staircase, as well as ADSs. And then for the fifth and final person, we typically do a castle here as well. And for our castle, what we like to do is double barricade, double castle the two front doors. This will make it so if an enemy team decides to go for a front take, they have to burn a lot of utility to get into the front, as well as the fridge door. So if they want to go for the fridge as well, they're going to have to burn the utility. So it makes the defenders on point really only have to focus at the beginning of the round on dirt and the back staircase. So as for substitutes, is there any person that we could say could be substituted out in this strategy?
I would say you can substitute Wamai for smoke, for dirt, to help out the mirror a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
You
And him
can
place
get
the same
people
shield.
pushed back. Yeah,
Yeah.
same shield be placed.
I think everyone here you can kind of have a substitute for besides mirror because that's who we base the strategy around. But the setup we have is really focused on stopping the projectiles, having the bandit for the walls, and the castle for the delay. So how we would play people would be Mira behind the mirror window back here. We'd have Wamai behind his shield watching dirt. We would have Jaeger at the pillar. We would have Bandit in the front Mira watching the front if they push up front. And Castle, he's more of the off-point player again, just like the last objective. He could watch Fridge as well as upstairs, right above Fridge. To catch people, if they occasionally tend to push the front of the fridge, he could stall them out up here. Alright, so let's go over the reinforcements really quick now. We will suggest 1 and 2 on the 2 fridge walls right here. Then we'll do 3 and 4 on the dirt wall right here. We'll do 5 on the first mirror window. 6 on the second mirror window. 7 and 8 on these 2 side walls. So they can't come up to the side and spray mirror on the side. And then 9 and 10 will be upstairs. Those are the 2 hatches. So we'll go up there real quick. You'll have 9 being in meeting room right here. And 10 being the front hatch right here. Alright, so I think that pretty much covers everything. Really, the whole strategy here is to stall out as hard as possible. It's very hard to push against this comp. And will make the defenders burn a lot of utility while pushing up. So a lot of the times it will come to down to a very last second push. So it works out very, very well on an objective like this. So I think that's everything for this objective. So we'll play the example clips now so you can see exactly how we set up everything. And then we'll move on to our third and final objective from there. First up, we got is Mira. Mira will place her 2 reinforcements, one being by dirt, the box leading to dirt, and one being in the front in the closet. She'll put her 2 mirror windows on these 2 walls, and she's going to be sitting behind the back mirror window. Our second operator is Jaeger. He'll be reinforcing walls 3 and 4. He'll be putting both his barbed wire on the back staircase, and he's going to be placing his ADSs all around the basement, one being in the front, one being outside a fridge, and one being in the back. And he'll be playing behind pillar to watch the back staircase. The next operator we have is Castle. Castle will reinforce walls 5 and 6. He'll place his castle barricades in the 2 front doors, as well as place a bulletproof in there if they end up breaching through the castle, as well as he'll place his final castle barricade on the doorway going into freezer, and he'll be playing inside the freezer defending the fridge. The next operator we have is Bandit. Bandit will reinforce walls 7 and 8. He'll bandit both these walls, and then he'll bandit both the mirror's windows, and then he'll be playing the front mirror window watching if people push down lobby. Lastly, we have Wamai. Wamai is going to go upstairs and reinforce the 2 hatches, being 9 and 10. Then he's going to go downstairs, and he's going to place his deployable shield in the doorway leading to dirt, and he's going to place his magnets on the back staircase and on the dirt door. And he'll be watching people pushing into dirt.
And lastly, we picked the kitchen and dining for our last objective. A lot of the times people will push from small tower away and thermite the wall, and people also tend to come from big tower in meeting room.
Alright, so let's talk about the reinforcements for this objective. We would suggest 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the kitchen, to get the whole entire kitchen, as well as 6 to get the hatch above. Then we would suggest outside and dining 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then typically we will open up this wall so you have lines of sight from kitchen into this room. Now, most teams will try to blow up walls or blow up the hatch to get entry into this objective because it's otherwise you're just funneling through the doors. So what we like to bring is heavy wall denial. So what we'll do is we'll bring a bandit so he can get a couple of the walls in dining. We'll bring a Cade so he can get the hatch as well as another set of the walls in kitchen. And then we'll bring a mute who can finish up the last few walls that are left in the kitchen, as well as stop some drones from droning us out. Now this is a very small objective, so it's very packed for the people sitting on it, and this is why it's one of the worst objectives. But if you come down to playing this, it's definitely better than the other option. So besides those three, the other people we like to bring is a rook or a dock, just so we can have an ACOG. For when they thermite this wall, you could see all the way up to the small tower stairs from back here with the ACOG. As well, if they start pushing in through doors, it's very helpful having the ACOG. As well as if they start pushing in the back, you can hop up and peek over the fridge right here with an ACOG and have a nice angle towards the back door. So, and for the fifth person, we typically like to go with castle again. Just like the other objectives, this provides a lot of slow like we use them for the other objectives. A lot of stall. We usually do one right here in the back door of tower, so they can stall people out pushing in the back. And then we'll typically do one here and here, which will allow people to have to burn their utility before they can ever enter the point. Alright, so now we'll talk about where we would suggest the 5 people to play. We typically only have one person play up point. What we'll do is typically have the castle play up point again. And we will let him, he usually will sit in the hallway here, so he can hold down these hallways, as well as play in showers to stall out people pushing over to the hallway, and maybe get some peek into the people pushing small tower when they're trying to thermite the wall. And then as for the rest of us, we try to stay on point, but stay spread out. So typically we'll have someone play towards the front of dining until they get the wall open. We'll have someone play behind the table in dining until they get the wall open. And then usually you have one in kitchen and one watching the back. This really can be spread out depending on who wants to play where. But if they start pushing heavy one side, you guys might want to start falling back towards point and readjusting what angles you're all holding. But otherwise for that, this objective I would say has the most substitutes out of any of the objectives because it really is kind of up to you. We generally like to achieve not giving up any walls while we're holding this, so we try bringing as much wall denial as possible. But there could be definitely better alternatives. Is there any substitutes you guys can think of that we could add?
Not really.
Yeah, I don't think anyone honestly is here set in stone. I would just definitely have at least one ACOG person to hold down the long ends of the site when they're pushing in. But otherwise,
Yeah.
besides that, I don't think there's much else to that you definitely need. Alright. So what we'll do for you guys again is play the example clips to show how we set up here and where we put all of our utility, so you can see it exactly. Alright, so for the final objective, the first operator is going to be Castle. Castle is going to reinforce walls 1 and 2. He's going to place his castle barricades 1 leading to the hallway to the big tower. He's going to place 1 outside of the objective door leading to small tower. And he's going to place 1 in the hallway leading towards lobby. He's going to also make a rotate into showers for himself. He's going to be playing out in the hallway as well as in showers to contest people pushing from small tower into that hallway. The second operator we have is Bandit. Bandit's going to reinforce walls 3 and 4. He's going to electrocute those 2 walls as well as the walls that Castle just reinforced. He's going to be playing inside the objective. The third operator we have is Rook. Rook will reinforce wall number 5 in the kitchen, as well as he'll go upstairs and reinforce hatch number 6. Then he'll come back downstairs and he's going to do a rotate hold between the 2 points, and he's going to be playing inside the kitchen. The fourth operator we bring on this objective is Cade. Cade reinforces walls 7 and 8. He electric claws these 2 walls, as well as he uses his other electric claw to get the hatch right above it. Then he will also be playing on point. And the final operator is Mute. Mute will reinforce walls 9 and 10. He's going to place 1 mute jammer on that wall, as well as 1 on the single wall that Rook reinforced, being wall 5. This mute jammer will also stop the drone hole that's right next to it. The other 2 mute jammers he's really free to place, but I put 2 example ones in the picture. Mute should also play a point as well. And that's going to conclude today's video. If you guys would like to see us do this on a different map, comment down below what map you would like to see. If you like this video and you think it's helpful, make sure to give us a like and sub to the channel. We post videos every Tuesday and Thursday, so make sure you sub so you don't miss any of them. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.